Both sides of the Hill family, the Hills and the Hollies, can be traced back to the Carolinas and most likely to Virginia. They worked their way west to Brazos Valley, which is north of Swenson, Texas. Here, Alice Holly and Roy Hill started our chain of the family. Here, Bible records on the left side show the marriage of T.M. Hill I to Sarah Q. Anderson from Ireland in 1845. They had 14 children. On the right side, it shows T.M. Hill I marrying Arilla Emily Morrison in 1875 as his second wife. They had 2 children. His son, T.M. II, is the second listing on the right side. He married Martha Adeline Morrison in 1877. They had 10 children. Lawrence Leroy Hill was the 6th child born in 1886. When a father and a son marry sisters, as Emily and Martha were, it creates some interesting family kinships for their offspring. This photo is that of the parents of Emily and Martha Morrison. They are John and Lucinda Perkins Morrison. They were born in 1814 and 1817 respectively. This is the oldest photo I have, probably in the mid-1830s, and is printed on a tin plate. This is the oldest photo I have for T.M. Hill II and his second wife, Martha Adeline Morrison. It could be their wedding photo, which would make it about 1877. This photo is of the T.M. Hill II family. Since the youngest child, Warlick, is missing, it would have to be about 1900. Back, left to right are Dan, Roy, Stella, Ella, P.H., Charles. Front, Hugh, Bale, Adeline, Allie, T.M. II. Warlick died at age 5 and Ella died at age 24 during childbirth. This photo is of T.M. and Adeline in later years. I don't know the 3 individuals in the back. Since T.M. died in 1931, this probably was taken about 1929-ish. This is T.M. and his dog. It has to be somewhere in the Brazos Valley, probably the old home place thereabouts, in the 1920s. Here's Adeline with the family dog. She looks younger than T.M. in the previous photo, so it could be early 20s. Trees in the background could be misleading as to where she is. This one shows Adeline in her later years. Since she died in 1939, this photo would be a year or 2 before that time. Roy Hill's parents, T.M. II and Martha Adeline, are buried in the Brazos Valley Cemetery north of Swenson, Texas, about 9 miles. Several of their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren are there as well. This photo is the early family of Jesse Benson and Mary Ann Davidson Brown Holly. It was Mary Ann's 3rd marriage and Jesse's 2nd. This could be the family portrait when they married. That would make the 3 back children his from previous marriage, and the smallest, Ida Mae Brown, hers. They married in 1878. This is Alice's mother, Mary Ann Holly, at her home in Idalou, Texas. Granny Holly, shortly after this photo, moved in with Roy and Alice until her death in 1943, so the photo is likely about 1939, give or take. Both Jesse and Mary Ann are buried in the Brazos Valley Cemetery. This half dugout was home for the Jesse Holly family when Alice was a teenager, so they lived here about 1900 before moving to the Brazos Valley. It is located north of Ashmont near the Brazos River. 10 people lived in this one room. It has since burned down. Jesse and Mary Ann are both buried in the Brazos Valley Cemetery. He died at the age of 59 and she at the age of 89. He was 9 years older than she to begin with, so there were 39 years between their deaths, probably contributed to separate headstones. There are 2 errors on his. First, the letter I is missing from his name Jesse, and second, he died in 1904 and not 1905. Here's a photo of a young Alice Feeney Holly Hill. Not sure how to guess her age, but she was born February the 4th, 1886. Farm life and raising 8 kids took its toll on her, but she was very pretty at this time. Here we have Lawrence Leroy Roy Hill with his horse. He is 19 years old here. So the photo was taken in 1905. It looks like cigarettes in his vest pocket, so he started young. This is 2 years after his marriage, so Lee Isla was born and Lita Bell could have been on the way. Roy and Alice were married in Aspermont, Texas on June 17, 1903 by E.B. Featherston. The older generation of our family remembers the Featherston family. This photo would be close to 1943, 1945. Roy and Alice are with their 8 children. Left to right are Darden, uncle, and there's Lawrence, Leet, Doyle, Lila, Lester, or farmer, Lance, called Bub, and Jesse Thomas, called Hap. Not sure where this was taken, may have been at a family reunion at some point. The next 3 photos represent how most of the grandkids remember their granny and grandpa. The first one has Alice with a corsage. Makes me think it may have been their 50th anniversary. If so, it was in 1953. The lamp looks like it probably belongs to Aunt Leet. The second photo looks like they are ready for church. They would most likely not get dressed up for anything else, maybe a funeral. The third photo represents the simple day-to-day life on the farm at the old home place. 2 people living as best they could on their way to heaven. Roy and Alice are buried in the Brazos Valley Cemetery. 5 of their 8 kids are there also, as well as grandkids and great-grandkids. The cemetery is 1 mile from their home place. The front view of the old rock house shows it in ill repair. This house was built after all the kids were gone. Grandkids remember it well. Several family members lived in it from time to time over the years. As of today, it is still in use. It was built in or around 1943-ish. The back of the house shows Grandpa at the door. Granny is on the porch just behind him. Granddaughter Joanne Hill is standing at the corner of the house on the far left. We don't know who the little girl is. The porch included the water cistern. Granny, hung cup towels out to dry on the porch. The pig's slop bucket is behind Grandpa. Attending church in Swenson was a major function of their lives. Here they are dressed to go. Grandpa had his Bible open. 2 grandchildren, Lancine the smallest and Norma, got into this photo op. Since neither Granny nor Grandpa drove, someone had to pick them up for church. I remember Uncle Hal doing that. And on occasion they would stop on the way and pick me up. Several family members, including myself, were baptized here during gospel meetings. A lot of family and community events centered around this church. Life on earth is about family. Enjoying our family is a true blessing. We relive these blessings when we reflect on our past. It is good to remember history, even though it might bring up some difficult times. All of our experiences make us who we are today. Likewise, life eternal is about family, the family of God. The greatest blessing I can imagine is being reunited with my earthly family in heaven. That is what following Jesus is all about.